click that download arrow, open up a Cami tab. Now, I have been told by some of you that the Cami extension has been stripped out of your Google Chrome. If that is the case, and I'm going to try and figure out why that is and get it back, you can just do a search for Cami. Click the link. Sign in. And if you're already signed in with Google, it will do the same thing. The shortcut is just handier. Okay, go ahead and drag your notes there. You want to click select because you have worked on this previously and you want all of your notes in one document. We also do have one Pear Deck question, so please click the link, go to Pear Deck. There is our code to join. We're going to go ahead and continue. That code's going to remain in the upper right-hand corner. We left off yesterday talking about how the meaning of symbols can change. And another part that will help us understand this is a theory that's kind of an offshoot of symbolic interactionism that's called Constructivism. It develops out of symbolic interactionism, and it has really tracked. I learned a lot about Constructivism, not in a sociology class, but in international relations as a grad school class. It's been a pretty powerful theory to come out of sociology. And part of this is because it's not purely sociological. It also ties into psychology. And this link is built in this pretty simple idea. It's simple but weird, right? The idea that there is no objective reality. Reality is something that is socially constructed, which means it's subjective. There is no real world out there. And there's just our shared subjective understanding of what the world is and how it works. In other words, there's no real reality. Instead, what we accept as reality is what we agree is real. That's it. So, this is going to sound kind of cult-like, which is why I've drawn some images from a great music video by the Decemberists. It sounds kind of like The Matrix or something of that nature, right? Or pick your other kind of dystopian science fiction movie where we're all sharing a dream, but it's not real. It seems real to us because we take these things that are just social creations and we internalize them. We take them for granted. Bless you. Much like we take for granted that a folding chair is something we sit in, right? And not something that we would just walk into a room, pick it up, and hit somebody else with for kicks. These things then become, right, an essential part of our cognition, how our brains process information, and how we perceive the world, how we make decisions, how we draw conclusions. All of that becomes our cognitive model of what reality is. In other words, this thing that's imagined, that's just socially constructed, we're all pretending that this is how things work, becomes a part of our mind. And then becomes our reality. And we can all act like it's real. I mean, most of the time it works. Right, where is the music coming from? Jermont? It's not a surprise that Jermont can't hear me. Can you turn that down, man? That is... All right. No, that was way too loud, man. I was having to talk over that, and it's beaming it straight into your noggin. So if you could just kill that, please. All right, thank you. So this becomes part of our mind, and therefore becomes our reality. Now, I know this can sound kind of weird, but humor me on this one, and we're going to kind of explore this through the concept of money. Right? Think about money. How does money provide evidence that reality is something that is just a social construction, right? There is no real reality. So throw that in the pear deck. I don't want you guys going terribly far off into the weeds, so we're going to give it a minute. Okay. All right. Okay. These two really get at the heart of it. Now, it's attaching worth to things just based on our belief that they have worth. Right? And the same here, right? Money, right, is only valuable because we all pretend like it's valuable. Who has a job? Who in here has a job? All right, Jordan, where do you work, if you don't mind telling us? You can also lie and we won't know any better.
I'm a manager at Little Caesars.
Okay, so you're a manager at Little Caesars. All right. How do they pay you at Little Caesars?
Well, they do minimum wage, but me being a manager, I get a little bit more.
Okay. And do they pay you? Get a real check, or do you just get automatic deposit to your bank?
I get a little check.
You get a real check. Okay, so they give you this piece of paper that has numbers on it, and then you take it to a bank and you deposit it. Or you go someplace and you cash it. Okay. Once you've turned that into cash, you've got some paper. Can you eat it? Well, you can. I mean, Josh is right. Knock yourself out. If you want to eat it, sure, right? It's not going to do you much good to eat it, right? Can you make clothes out of it? Sure. But they're not going to be particularly good. They're not going to be all that comfortable. But does Jordan need to try to eat money or make it into clothes in order to get some use out of it? No. What can Jordan do with that money? Yeah. Yeah. So buy food, buy clothes, right? And I'm going to guess, Jordan, that's what you do, right? You buy stuff with it. Okay. Why do those other places accept this paper that Jordan has gotten stuck with in exchange for food or clothes?
Because it's valuable.
But why? It doesn't sound valuable. I can't eat it. It'd be pretty rubbish for making clothes out of.
Well, it's reusable. You can use it on different things.
So you could, right? But I mean, I could also take some gravel out of my driveway and use it a lot, right? Yeah, but why? I mean, we've decided that this Jordan doesn't want it, right? I mean, Jordan works for it for some reason that I can't quite fathom. Right? Jordan works for this paper, right? That then other people will accept and give her stuff for it. But it works, right? It does work, right? And I do the same thing. Jordan. I'm not picking on Jordan. Jordan's doing a perfectly reasonable thing by working for money. I'm doing the exact same stuff, right? But instead of a paper check, I'm actually required to just let it be electronically deposited into my bank account, right? I don't even touch the real money, right? And how many of you barely do anything with cash? Okay, so quite a few. And I realize that you guys are a younger crowd and you don't have as much access to things like debit cards and credit cards and all of that stuff, but I seldom actually use real money, like paper money for anything, no physical money. And yet we're all working for it, and we all assume it works. Right? And I see that in a lot of your answers, that you just take for granted that that's, I think the first comment I've got up here is that society couldn't function without it. I don't know, just the creators of Star Trek just seem to disagree. I don't know much about Star Trek, but somebody did tell me that there's no money in Star Trek. Can you guys imagine a world where there's no money?
Yeah.
No, that would
It
suck.
was like
Go back to
2000
trade.
2000 years ago,
Have to
something
rely
like
on someone.
Well, no, I mean, even 2,000 years ago, there's metal coins. Right?
bartering, all that stuff.
Sure. Right? You could barter, right? But how many goats should an hour of Jordan's time be worth? I don't know.
Half a goat.
Half a goat? Okay. All right. So let's say Jordan goes into work, works for a half hour, gets sick, has to clock out, and she's supposed to take half a goat home. And how's that going to work? Right? Do you want a goat, Jordan? No, you don't want a goat. Right? And let's say you do have a goat and you really don't want it, and I have some chickens. How many chickens is a goat worth?
5.
Okay, right? I mean, I don't know. Right? And then let's say Jordan's got 5 chickens, and Jordan wants to buy a pair of shoes. And she's supposed to pack around 5 chickens with her everywhere she goes, right? Pooping the whole time, pecking at stuff, and then try and trade them for some shoes. Right? It gets pretty tough. I mean, money may be imaginary, but most of you can't imagine a world without it. Okay. And that's what constructivists would say. We just all take for granted that money is real and it has value and we'll work for it and other people will accept it from us and the world will keep going round and round. And it's fun. Right? I'm telling you it's definitely all made up. We're all playing this imaginary game where money has value, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work. Right? We're all able to share this kind of pretend reality and make it go. And I don't want any of you going home and be like, Dr. Brown said I shouldn't do anything with my life because money is all pretend and it doesn't matter. So I'm going to drop out of high school and just go to sleep for a while. Yeah, no, don't do that. All right. So, in terms of what you need to put into your notes, did I leave you a box to type in for that part of your notes? No, okay, then that's good enough. We'll leave that one behind. Okay, do turn in your notes to this assignment, and then I will explain what is next. And for any of you that had to go to Cami as a website, that's everything else should still work the same. You'll still click save to make sure all your changes are saved. Okay, and then let's look at the next thing. You can either go out to modules and find it right under today's notes, or you can just click next if you're still on that assignment page. I'm going to jump back to gender conflict theory here for just a bit with a discussion assignment about chivalry's fate. Now, as far as this goes, this is going to be one of your easier discussion assignments, but that doesn't make it any less important. We often hear people say chivalry is dead, or somebody will hold open a door and somebody else will say, I guess chivalry isn't dead yet. Right, or something equally hokey, but it is a question. Is chivalry dead? If it is, should we try to bring it back? If it isn't dead, should we try to get rid of it? I want you to explain your position, right, your answers to those questions, based on what you read in the previous assignment, with Sir Millerman the Knight as its spokesperson. And who was it that thought that guy looked cool? Caleb, was that you?
Does that mean who what?
That thought that Sir Millerman the Knight was a cool dude? That was you. Okay, that was you.
You're talking about Miller time, yeah.
No. We're not talking about, no. I'm not sure what those boxes are for, what kind of product they contained before he made them into a suit of armor, right? This is a high school class, and I don't know what any of that is.
Miller Lite.
All right.
I think that's what it was.
So a diet soda then. Okay, got it. All right.
That's pretty much what Miller Lite
Okay.
is.
So, all right. Based on that reading and your own life experiences, because I'm pretty sure that you can't escape life without something that is related to the discussion of chivalry. And you do have to take a position. And I realize some of you don't want to be disagreeable. Right? Madison, for example, you seem very nice, very pleasant and polite. Right? You can't just try to keep both sides happy. You have to pick one. Right? So, share your opinion. You need to engage your classmates by replying to 3 of their posts. Four. That's how the math works. Right? 6 points each for your replies, 20 points for your original post. Hedging for the possibility that there is a snow day tomorrow. This is going to be due at the beginning of the school day on Friday.
How much snow is supposed to come tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm not convinced that there's actually going to be a snow day. But I was wrong last time, so maybe I should just keep my mouth shut. All right. So you've got some time to work on this. We will have an exit slip that will go live at about 12 minutes, but that gives you time to get started. Any questions? All right. I will be interested to see what you guys say. I may even have time to join in the discussion. There you go, Caleb.